Here's your guys' notes on standard equation of a circle. So there's going to be a total of 12 questions that you guys must answer for your homework assignment. So here's some examples of what you guys will see that is due on May 1st. All right. Um, oh, just something quick for you guys. If you did not take your test on Friday, you are going to be taking it tomorrow. So for those students that did not take their test last Friday, you will be taking your test tomorrow on May 1st. All right, so let's begin. Okay, so you guys are gonna get exposed to an equation such as this. And you guys, this is an equation of a circle. X minus h to the second plus y minus k to the second is equal to r to the second. And h and k, you guys, is the center. So notice how that there's minus signs within this formula, right? So if they're minus, that means your center is just going to be positive. But then if it's plus, that means your center is going to be has a subtraction sign. So for the first 4 problems, it's just going to ask you guys to locate the center and to find the radius, which is r. All right, so example 1. Now, do you guys see how it says x plus 4? So I know that for my center, that our h value is going to be negative 4, and our k value is just going to be 6. It's negative 4, you guys, because do you see how it's positive there? If it was a negative sign, then your h value would just be positive. But since that is plus 4, then it's going to be the opposite, which is negative 4. And then that's minus 6, so it's just going to be 6 for the center. Then the radius. Now, r squared is equal to 48, correct? But if you square root both sides, r is equal to actually the square root of 48. So it's going to ask you guys to round to the second decimal place, which is round to the hundreds. So the square root of 48 is roughly around 6.93. Guys have to make sure you round properly. All right, so that would be your answer for a problem like that. You gotta find your center and you gotta find your radius. All right, example 2. Now, notice how this is not being subtracted by anything. Well, it actually is, you guys. It's actually looking like this form. X minus 0 to the second, and then rewriting everything else. So, our center is going to be 0, comma, and then that is going to be 7.5. So there's your center. To find your radius, right, it's r squared is equal to this. So 9 over 49, square root both sides. So put that into your guys' calculator. So you gotta do 9 divided by 49 and then take the square root of that value. And you guys are roughly gonna get 0.43. You have to round properly. If you don't round properly, then you're going to get the radius wrong. So maybe I should show you guys what it really comes out to. It really comes out to looking like this. This is the hundredths place. That's the second round to the 2 decimal places. So I must round up because that's 8. If it's 5 through 9, you have to round up. So that's going to be 0.43. If it's anywhere from 0 to 4, then that means you have to round down. Alright, so there's those types of problems. Okay, now in these sets of 4, they ask you guys to graph. Okay, they're going to ask you guys to graph. Example 3. Okay, so we know our center is 5, 2. And then we know the radius is equal to, okay, well, what's the square root of 16? The square root of 16 is 4. Okay, so all you guys have to do is, okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2. There's my center, and then my radius will go 4 from the center. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. On Khan Academy, it's so much easier when you graph it. You guys will see. But 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. But you guys get the idea. Okay. Example 4. Now this center, right? Okay, since it says x plus 1, that means it's negative 1. Now, there's nothing on the y squared, which means it is 0. And then your radius, you guys, remember, it's the square root of that number. So square root of 81 is 9. Right? You take the square root of 81, and you'll get the radius. So negative 1 comma 0, and then I'll make this one goes by 2s because 9 is pretty big. So negative 1 comma 0. 1, 2, 3, 4 right there. 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 So that's like your rough sketch. A radius of 9, right? A distance of 9 from the center to the edge of the circle. So you guys will have more problems like that. Okay, and now you guys have to write your standard equation. So for this one, okay, so they're going to give you guys a center. So if you guys take a look at that center is 1 comma negative 1. So there's the center. Now we have to find the radius. So in order to find the radius, you guys, you have to calculate this distance right there. And the only way you can calculate that distance is if you guys make a triangle and use Pythagorean theorem. So this distance is 2, this distance is 2, and this is our radius, r. So actually this distance is actually negative 2. No, we'll just do distance. Alright, so there's that, and then you guys use Pythagorean theorem, which is a squared plus b squared equals c squared, in order to calculate the radius of your circle, which is r. So 2 to the second plus 2 to the second is equal to r to the second. 4 plus 4 is equal to r squared. 8 equals r squared, square root both sides. And we have r is equal to square root of 8. And the reason why, and then that's okay. Having a square root is fine for these types of problems. Alright, so we calculated that, and now we have everything in order to create the equation of your circle, right? Because you need two things. You need the center and you need your radius. So plugging it into the equation, right? Plugging in the center and the radius into your equation, you guys are going to have x minus 1 coming from this, right? Minus 1 squared plus y plus 1, because negative 1, right? It's going to be a minus negative 1 into your formula. If you plug in negative 1 into there, it's going to be y minus negative 1, which is just y plus 1 squared equals, okay, this is your radius, and you have to raise that to the second power. Well, square root of 8, you guys, raised to the second, these just cancel, so all you're left with is just 8. So your guys' equation for this problem is that. Okay, a little bit more challenging, but I think when you guys get the hang of it, it'll be fine. Alright, but let's look at this example 6 problem. Okay, so same thing, locate your center. So your guys' center is 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. So negative 3 comma 2. So remember, you need to find your center and your radius for the equation of a circle. Now we have to find the radius. So we have to draw a triangle and then calculate this. So that's 2. 1, 2, 3, 4. This is 4, and this is the radius. So use your Pythagorean theorem. 2 to the second plus 4 to the second is equal to r to the second. 4 plus 16 equals r to the second. 20 equals r to the second. Square root both sides. So r is going to equal to rad 20. So we have our center and we have our radius. Now let's plug these into the original equation and find our equation of the circle. So x minus what we got here, which was -3. So I'm going to actually show this one out to you guys. -3 squared. This is what happens if you guys just plug it in, and you'll see all the signs will switch. Y minus our k value, which was 2 second, equals our r value, rad 20 raised to the second. X minus -3, you guys, that's why it's positive. And then that stays the same. And then rad 20 to the second power, the square root and the second power, you guys cancel, so that's just 20. So you guys will have 4 problems like that. So hopefully you guys, this helps. Remember to turn in these notes by the end of today, and then your homework is due the next day. All right? Good luck, you guys.